In the spiritual journey, those who are called to a higher purpose often face unique challenges, with lust being one of the most intense and secretive battles. This struggle is not just a physical issue but a profound spiritual warfare, where the enemy targets those with a divine calling. 1. Spiritual sensitivity and increased temptation. Those who are spiritually gifted often experience heightened awareness, not only of God's presence but also of the enemy's tactics. This sensitivity makes them more susceptible to temptations, particularly lust. The enemy understands that if they can corrupt the purity of someone with a divine purpose, they can slow down or even derail their spiritual growth. The heightened spiritual sensitivity experienced by the chosen ones makes them more attuned to not just God's voice but also the subtle strategies of the enemy. Lust is one of the strongest tools the enemy uses to distract and weaken those set apart for greatness. When the enemy identifies that a person is spiritually strong, they often target them more intensively with temptations, hoping to bring them down. It's not merely about human weakness, it's a spiritual attack. 2. Isolation leading to hidden struggles. Chosen ones often walk a path that few can understand, which may lead to a sense of isolation. While solitude can be a blessing for personal and spiritual growth, it can also make them vulnerable to battles they must fight alone. Without strong accountability or deep spiritual connections, lust can become a private battle. The secrecy surrounding this struggle makes it more difficult to overcome, often leaving the chosen ones to suffer in silence. Isolation becomes an emotional breeding ground for the enemy to take advantage of. The lack of support systems or close spiritual companions can lead the chosen ones to feel overwhelmed, struggling privately with their temptations. When a person is alone in their spiritual journey, the enemy finds an open door to plant thoughts and temptations, especially regarding lust. 3. High calling attracts greater attacks. The greater the calling, the stronger the spiritual attacks. Lust is not merely a natural human struggle. It is a powerful spiritual tool the enemy uses to keep those with a divine calling distracted, drained, and distanced from God. Many powerful leaders, prophets, and spiritual warriors have fallen because they underestimated the intensity of this battle. Those chosen by God often face greater temptations because of their high calling. Lust is an attack aimed directly at their purpose. The higher their calling, the greater the warfare they face. The enemy knows that if they can ensnare the chosen one in lust, they can delay or derail their mission. The battle intensifies, and the stakes are higher. 4. Emotional wounds create open doors. Many of the chosen ones carry deep emotional wounds from their past: rejection, abandonment, heartbreaks, or unresolved pain. These emotional scars can become open doors for lust to take root. The enemy offers lust as a false comfort, a counterfeit connection to fill the void left by unhealed emotional wounds. When a person's heart is emotionally vulnerable, the temptation of lust can feel like a solution. However, it is only a temporary fix that deepens the cycle of shame, sin, and emotional damage. Without healing, these emotional wounds continue to provide entry points for destructive behaviors like lust. Lust becomes an easy escape, but ultimately, it creates more pain than it heals. The enemy thrives in the vulnerability caused by emotional wounds. 5. Strong spiritual gifts. Weak flesh. Many of the chosen ones possess powerful spiritual gifts, but they are still human, and their flesh remains weak. Without consistent spiritual discipline, such as prayer, fasting, and renewing the mind, the battle against lust intensifies. The stronger the anointing, the greater the need for self-control and spiritual resilience. While those called to greatness may have incredible spiritual gifts, their human nature is susceptible to weakness. This is a battle of the flesh. If they do not maintain a strong spiritual discipline, their flesh can take over, leading them into sinful patterns and destructive behavior. The greater the anointing, the greater the need for personal self-control and spiritual strengthening to resist lustful thoughts and temptations. Conclusion: the battle against lust is a real and intense struggle for many chosen ones. But it is not an insurmountable one. Through spiritual discipline, accountability, and emotional healing, victory is possible. The key lies in acknowledging the truth of this spiritual battle and equipping oneself with the necessary tools to fight. God's power is always greater than the enemy's snares. And though the enemy seeks to trap the chosen ones, God's purpose for their lives remains unwavering. The question is, will they rise up and fight? Or will they fall into the trap? The strength to overcome lies within their grasp through faith, discipline, and support from their spiritual community.